Let's hope my computer doesn't pass the fuck out. All right. Let's hope everything goes smoothly. Okay. We are playing. And we're going to watch some Bob Lazar videos.
Ladies and gentlemen, a few months after I hosted a podcast featuring the Area 51 whistleblower, Bob Lazar, I had met Bob again for a follow-up interview. During this interview, we discuss information that has never been brought forward in the public eye. Today, for the first time ever, Bob Lazar will reveal a brand new name in connection with S4. We've obtained this exclusive deleted scene from the documentary S4, The Bob Lazar Story, featuring a conversation between Bob Lazar and director Luigi Venditelli. I was also able to ask Bob a few questions regarding his past, regarding John Lear and his relationship to John, regarding the liquid that he drank at S4. And just to be thorough, I also interviewed Luigi Venditelli to fill us in a little bit more about why this pertinent, important piece of information was not featured in his documentary, and if this indeed will help move the needle.
You know, there are certain pieces of information that I intentionally keep. There are several pieces of information that I keep to myself, and that the main reason is, you know, in case somebody does claim to be involved with the project or been there, whatever, they should be able to tell me those. And
Okay.
I need to keep a certain amount of those. There are some technical aspects that I'm just keeping to myself because I need to at this point in time.
Okay.
But if you just essentially want something that you made to give up just one little thing that I haven't, I can tell you the name of another person that no one has heard of that worked there. His name was Chuck Payne.
Chuck Payne. What the fuck?
Let's pick up where we left off a little bit, because I had some follow-up questions. You know, for me, that conversation was truly like a canon event in my life. Like, that is, you know, it marked like a really important, I feel, turning point in terms of like, oh my God, like this is, if there's anybody out there that I've wanted to interview, it was like Bob Lazar, Travis Walton, like these are, you know, and I'm there now, and this is kind of surreal to me, you know, and I've had time to sit back and ponder and kick myself for not asking certain questions. So
Okay.
it's not every day I get to come back and have a redo. So I wanted to follow up on a few things that we never covered and that are covered in Project Gravator, because as you know, by the time that this podcast comes out, the movie will have aired.
Hopefully.
Yes, hopefully. Well, that's the deal.
Yeah.
So this isn't coming out unless it airs.
Okay.
So rest assured, the movie's out, you know, go rent it, go buy it, all that stuff. In the movie, there are a few revelations that are pretty earth-shattering in terms of this case for a lot of people. There's been a lot of contention on different topics surrounding your story and yourself and your history. But you came forward with a new name. Chuck Payne.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what made you withhold that name?
There's, as I mentioned before, I always intentionally withheld several things about S4 because Chuck Payne was a really well-known guy because he really stood out as this, I don't know, an overt security person. He played the part well.
He was one of the security guards there. I have never mentioned that.
This is
to
brand new
anybody.
information.
Yeah, I've never mentioned that to anybody.
Have you ever mentioned this to George now?
No, no.
So this
No.
is
No,
this is
no one has
officially
no one
the
has
first
ever
time.
heard this. Correct. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it was just one of, and the reason why Chuck was of all the security guards around there were very tight-lipped and quiet, and we really had minimal interaction with them. Chuck was different, and he stood out. And if you were at S4, you knew Chuck Payne. You knew Chuck Payne. He just was one of those guys. Hey, how are you doing? I mean, a security guard would never talk to you or say anything. You know, he'd go, hey, Bob. I mean, he was the only one that was just a bit of an extrovert. And he stuck out, and he did that to everybody.
And I mean, if you were there, you knew, heard, or saw Chuck Payne. If somebody said, you know, name a guard's name, they'd say Chuck Payne. So,
Chuck
anyway,
Payne.
I get so many
I have a gift for you.
comments, emails, or people saying, yeah, you know, my grandfather worked there, or so-and-so worked there. And it's like you want to just hold back a couple minor details and said, okay, if he did, tell me about this, tell me about this, tell me about this. Chuck Payne was just one of those things.
Wow.
It was just to hold back because if you were there, you would have. Now, by saying that, I've now lost one other thing.
Yeah.
You know, so, but nothing is, you know, earth-shattering critical. They're little things like that.
Well, they seem, you know, maybe they're little things, but, you know, for good old Chuck out there, he's going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Come on,
I'm
Bob.
sure he doesn't appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, what the hell, Bob? You think he's still around?
Don't know.
Yeah. Haven't looked
know.
into him. Didn't do any.
No, I really haven't looked into anybody, but
Yeah.
from those that did, it looked like Dennis Mariani died.
Yeah.
I
heard that.
I had pictures of a gravestone, and you know, people seem to, this guy, it connects all the dots. This looks like it was the guy. So I don't know. We're all getting up in age.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Was he older than you or younger
He
than
was
you?
older than me.
He was older than you by a few years, or?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, not like terribly old or
No.
anything. Yeah. Okay. And this guy was this the guy that roughed you up a little bit more than the rest of the security? Like, was this the guy who like really had it
No.
out for you, or just they all kind of equally?
It's that's why I crossed my eyes at that. Yeah, I mean, they're kind of all from the same mold.
Yeah.
So
That's stress inoculation.
yeah, I don't know how. I don't know how things went there with the guards because we were kind of separated from them. But it seemed like he was just on a different level with them.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was in charge of them. I don't know if he wasn't just one of them. He was a special entity in himself. So I don't know what his rank was, but he was just a different guy.
Yeah. And with a name like Chuck Payne.
Yeah, and that's what was funny about it.
Yeah.
I was surprised when he let that out with me in an interview. This happened like over 3 years ago. So I've been holding this, you know, we've been holding this to ourselves for a long time, and kind of an exciting moment. And we're like, do we put this out there? We created the first version, which you saw, and it was in there, and everybody liked it. Everybody thought it was great. And then we started looking at it again and thought we didn't expand on it in the film. We just put a little bit in there. He says the name of somebody, and that's it. So we had some people say it's kind of a unnecessary in there if you're not going to expand on it. It's just going to piss people off that you put something in there and then there's nothing else. So we decided to take it out.
Before we continue, I'd like to say that the Chuck Payne that you are going to find should you Google this name is not the Chuck Payne, as mentioned in the interview with Bob, that worked at S4. It is a senator, and he would probably appreciate if we didn't blow up his inbox. Now, that being said, I have done some due diligent research on the name Chuck Payne, and there are many that come up, from retired Army to intelligence. Your guess is as good as mine.
We were in Las Vegas when that happened, and we were shooting something that's not in the film is all the footage that we have with Bob Lazar in the desert with a DeLorean time machine. That was the time that we went out to Las Vegas, the whole crew of Motivo, my crew, and Project Gravator crew, basically. We went out and filmed with a DeLorean time machine in the desert, and we had rented an Airbnb in Las Vegas, which is a giant mansion, so that we could all sleep in the same house. So we were like a whole bunch of people. And it was in the middle of an afternoon, I was showing Bob some stuff, and I'll never forget, he was because it also gave us an opportunity to hang out with Bob Lazar while we were there, and I was showing him some of the updates we were making, some of the progress we were making in building S4, and he was really impressed. And we were sitting there, and I said, I don't want to push you, and I don't know if there's anything that you've ever not said, but it would be so incredible if ever there's something you'd want to share that you've never shared before. I didn't say, you have to give us something. And he immediately looked at me and said, you guys are really doing an incredible job, and I think there's something I can say. I said, okay. He says, we'll talk about that whenever we have a chance, and that's what happened. The really interesting thing about this film and this project, this is while you and I have known each other, you brought to my attention that a pilot had reached out to you, and this came out after my film came out, that you were holding it tight, I was holding it tight. He was a co-pilot for EG&G, flying the Janet flights into Groom Lake between 87 and 91, something like that. And that's exactly when Bob would have been there, and he said he knew Dennis Mariani.
Speaking of Dennis Mariani, we touched on this a little bit in our previous conversation. We touched on the fact that I'd reached out to a Janet Airlines co-pilot that knew Dennis, and that was also informed of his passing, and said that he'd met Dennis over a dozen times and had exchanged with him just sort of regular rapport.
It proved one thing: there is a Dennis Mariani did exist. There was a Dennis Mariani that was flying on Janet jets going to Groom Lake. It proved, that's a big word. It helps the argument. That's a better way of framing it. It helps the argument that could have been reality. And Bob was the guy who mentioned Dennis Mariani.
Something really interesting about Dennis Mariani that I don't think most people piece together is, after you came out, through George Knapp, and he called you, right? He called you to meet up with you.
Yeah.
How long after was that?
He called to meet at the Union Plaza Hotel. It wasn't that long, but I couldn't.
Could have been weeks or months.
No,
not even.
It wasn't months. I don't think it was months.
Okay, so it was pretty soon after.
Yeah, it was definitely relatively soon after.
And what exactly did he say to you again? He was like, "Let's meet up at the Union Plaza Hotel."
Yeah, I don't. At this point, I don't remember the exact conversation, but yeah, and I don't remember the reason he gave me, but it was to meet at the Union Plaza Hotel.
Now, I mean, between us, like, you got a call.
I was kind of excited.
Really?
For that. Yeah, because he sounded different. He sounded like, it wasn't like, hey, let's meet. It's like, hey, Bob, let's meet at the Union Plaza Hotel. It was a different tone. of him.
Right.
So I thought, okay, I don't know, maybe he's going to be.
Also, another thing is that I've
I
read
know
the
you don't want
book,
to speculate.
Yeah,
But-
it's always
the Dreamland book, and a lot of details are in that.
why I keep stopping myself. But
And I appreciate that. But also, what other reasons are there?
I don't know. He might be sympathetic to my attitude or something like that.
Right.
So
Oh.
I thought, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I called. I said this time I want witnesses. Had friends come with me. Go in first. That way I, looked around. I said, there he is, Gene Huff. I said, that's Dennis Mariani right there. So he had eyes on him too, and yeah, that's what that was about.
And then you walked up to him, and he kind of ignored you. Or he didn't kind of ignore me.
Yeah, but as I walked in, I saw other faces that I've seen at S4 walk by me coming from his direction. And I even stopped Gene in the hallway and said, something's wrong. Those guys look familiar. They look like security from S4. And then when I went up to Dennis Mariani, he wouldn't even look at me. I stood right behind him. I stood right next to him, and he just like I wasn't even there. I went, Dennis, and no response. So, yeah. Okay, this is weird. And
You just
just went
turned
over to
around.
Gene and said, yeah, this whole thing is
It reeks.
yeah, something's wrong.
The faces from S4, do you like remember at all what department they were from, or do you are they security?
No, I think they were security.
I think they were security.
Yeah.
It wasn't Chuck.
No.
Our old buddy Chuck, he wouldn't let that slide. Wow. Okay. So, for me, when I hear this, I think to myself, there's a big hump that people have a hard time getting over. And the hump is, why hire Bob, right? Why hire Bob if he's an acquaintance of John Lear, right? That's like the big thing that people have a hard time getting over.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people think that because they think
Yeah.
if you're vetting someone for like a really, really top secret sort of reverse engineering, job at S4, why would someone knowingly, who's a friend of this person who's quite loud, and overt with his, conspiracies, why would we hire someone who's associated with someone like that, right?
Well, look at what John Lear was talking about at that time. He said there is over 1 billion aliens living in the mountains outside of
Yeah.
Las Vegas, that there is an entire civilization in the sun, and that the sun is actually hot. It's some special effect, and that you can breathe on Venus. I mean, all this nonsense. And I tell John he was crazy to his face. I said, this is all,
Yeah.
absolute nonsense. So I don't see people taking John Lear as serious at
Seriously.
that time. Now, before that, whether years or whatever, John was a different person. And, but as time went on, the things he said got crazier and crazier. And, I don't really see that being a threat to them.
Yeah. So, well, my point was, I think that, maybe, and this is complete speculation, but it's the only sort of piece of puzzle that I can see fitting, or at least help fit. Maybe Dennis had something with you being hired. Maybe it had something to do with you being hired.
Why would Dennis want me hired?
Well,
If anything, it was Teller.
right. Teller, obviously.
Now, he obviously had weight.
Yes.
And he said, hey, there's this kid in Los Alamos, and to give him a shot, or whatever,
Yeah.
he
And
would have said.
Yeah.
And maybe that's all that was needed.
Yeah.
Maybe I just lucked out. But, why would Dennis want me hired?
Well, maybe Dennis wanted to blow the lid off this thing. He saw what you did. He for sure watched KLAS. He was, oh my God. And then he reached out to you, and not in a threatening way, in a way that seemed sympathetic. So for me, if you had a guy on the inside who wanted to blow the lid off this thing, and you knew that he was associated with someone who knew very well, the conspiracy world and everything else, maybe he had something to do with this guy, bring this guy in here or something. I don't know. It's a wild grasp at straws. I do understand.
It's kind of a long shot, I
Yeah.
think. But I mean, it's not impossible. And really, who knows?
Right.
Who knows why they hired me?
Yeah.
There's a lot more
Yeah.
qualified people than myself. But if they're looking for somebody really outside the box that's not going to follow protocol,
Yeah.
and maybe that's what they were finally fed up with. We're not getting anywhere with this, and let's just get somebody a left field. And
I mean, that's probably the reason. Much more likely than my harebrained conspiracy. But
we'll never know.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it could be. I'm sure it's most likely something neither of us are thinking about.
I was just so compelled with the idea that this guy, Dennis, the same guy who'd stare at you for 20 minutes in that ride to S4 menacingly.
That was creepy.
Yeah.
I still have a picture of that in my mind.
But he's also
sitting bouncing on the bus looking at me going, can't you look at something else? And,
weird.
But it was a new job and, unusual circumstances. You just don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
So we just kind of.
Yeah, weird and awkward.
Yeah,
that 20 minutes was.
And there's not even a window to look out of, so you just look at the back of the driver's head. So,
but he's also the guy that was like, "Hey, come see this launch outside. Come see this test flight." Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That seems out of character for a guy who.
I don't know about that.
Really?
I mean, it was probably important for me to see that. You have to see how. Look, we're back engineering power and propulsion, and here's it in operation.
Yeah.
So what I don't get is why we weren't informed earlier on.
That's right.
Said, there's going to be a test at 2:00. You guys get your stuff done, be out there in the big hangar, and that. But instead, the craft was already outside, and Dennis came in. Come on, you guys. So it's like it was a last minute thought. Now that's what makes less sense to me.
But that might be part of the reason, to keep it hush-hush and kind of don't tell anybody until it happens type deal, maybe. Compartmentalization and all.
Yeah. And again, there might be another reason that neither of us are thinking about. Maybe we're not supposed to know how it got out of the hangar. Something bizarre like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I had that ruminating, something about this Dennis Mariani character is enigmatic, to say the least, from...
A lot of people latched on to him, spend a lot of time looking for him. I guess they finally found him. But, I mean, for years, people, for some reason, that name really clicked and people went after him. Because that's really the guy that would know a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
I don't know nobody tried to track down Barry. And he'd be great for technical information. I'd love to know everything Barry knew.
Barry, if you're listening, please reach out. Could you imagine? What do you think Barry's reaction was to you?
Boy, I don't know. What I was really concerned is that Barry would be. I mean, they'd focus some of their anger on Barry. That there'd be a price to pay. Because he was training me, and and I don't know. I hope that didn't happen.
Yeah,
because it certainly wasn't my intention at all to cause trouble for anybody there.
Of course, yeah.
But I don't know. I'm sure he wouldn't have been pleased about it.
After all, he was so excited to have a new partner.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hinted around to Barry about, wow, this is. All of this shouldn't be kept secret. Barry never really wanted to talk about it, but it seemed like he agreed with me, without saying so. And
really?
In the back of my mind, I kind of hoped that Barry might even follow me, out. And, after it was all out, maybe we just suddenly hear another voice from S4. But no, that was all a pipe dream.
That must have been pretty disheartening. To come out. and to not have a follow-up. Did you expect?
You know, I kind of did. I think I just hoped so much it turned into expectation.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was a realistic hope.
Was worth a shot, I think.
Yeah.
I'd feel hopeful as well. I think the same hopeful sentiment was probably shared by, the likes of David Grush as well, who, although went through a sort of DOPSR approved whistleblowing, still, gave up his pension and put his own credibility on the line by coming out and saying that, hey, we've recovered non-human biologics and we have craft and we're working on them. I think he probably felt the same, and after that hearing.
Yeah. Hats off to that guy. I respect him for doing that, for sure.
Yeah. And then crickets for him too, though. Kind of, nobody from the program came out. Do you think that's due to people's fear, or is it due to, the actual shutting down of people, or a bit of both?
That's tough to say. There's no doubt there's a fear aspect to it.
Yeah.
But as far as shutting down people physically, I don't know. I would certainly lean more towards fear. I think they just put the fear of God in them, and that's it.
Interesting.
Cool. Well, only 20 minutes in. I think those are the questions I wanted answered. I've been ruminating with this, and I was like, it's one of those things where every time I have a guest here, the line of questioning that I try to have is, because of the interview we had, is the second they leave, what do I go?
Everything comes to mind.
What do I go? I wish I would have asked them this. Right. And I really wanted to cover, especially the Chuck Payne stuff, which I thought was really interesting.
Maybe someone will start looking for him now. Like they put the effort they did into Dennis Mariani.
Yeah.
They'll find him.
I got to say, I looked myself. I tried to research it myself. Unfortunately, there is a governor, I believe, by the same name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I think Luigi told me that or something.
Yeah.
Somebody did.
And it's not him. Like, we've gotten confirmation it's not him. I think we showed you a picture as well, and you're like, nope. And so don't blow him up. Don't go blow his phone up. Don't, don't go threatening him or calling him out on social media. He's got his own thing going on.
Oh, like there's nothing. I mean, Chuck Payne was doing his job.
Yeah.
That's all, and he's doing it well. He just said, so you can't harbor ill will towards these guys.
Yeah.
You really can't. I mean, the guys that set up the program and whatnot, it's a different story. But, security guards are just being security guards.
Yeah. Do you ever feel, this is something you've probably actually talked about in the past, but, there was a lot of like fear, stress inoculation, but there was also like they gave you substances, right? They gave you tests, or they had you drink this weird opaque yellow fluid that tasted like Pine Sol. Did you ever feel like that might have just been part of the conditioning? To have you think that this was all just some weird hallucination or something?
No weird hallucination. And that was the thing tasted more like vitamin B than anything. It was just an immune system booster, because they had just done a whole the grid for allergens, and they said there are just materials here we have no clue as to what they are or what interactions they have with the human body. So it was just a typical booster, immune system booster. But no, there's nothing that made me think of that at all.
It's just this time is all, we're talking about MK Ultra, all this type of stuff as well, but it's really easy to know when something is real versus when something isn't real. And when this, people bring this up a lot, and they bring up the they probably just messed with his head. I'm like,
no, they didn't mess with my head. It was 100% clear every single time I was there. There was no doubt at all.
And there's no doubt in my mind as well, because I think, we're all smart enough to know what's real and what isn't real.
Yeah.
That being said, that still wouldn't stop them from tampering, somehow with your memory or, your mind while you're there. Like, that's something that I feel like the dark recesses of these, government factions wouldn't stop it doing. Is that ever considered or crossed your mind that they might have been still?
Well, yeah, the way they screw with you by, inserting incorrect or misleading information
Yeah.
into what they're telling you.
Yeah.
And it's specific to each person. So if they start hearing that from somewhere else, they know exactly who said it.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Passage material.
yeah. And, you never know. This is why I draw such a hard line between what I work on, what I saw, what I touched, and, what I was told or read. So you never know about any of the reading material. You never know about any of the hearsay or anything you're being taught, if it's real, unless it's backed up by hands-on stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
No, that was in there.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I would absolutely agree with that. Especially if they're trying to keep a lid on things, they got to throw some, a wrench in the system here. They got to throw you off the scent a little bit, some red herrings and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Even, that's something even Barry mentioned.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
He did. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So Barry, because he seemed like the type that was really excited about this stuff too. Like when.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really was. He was so excited to have somebody to work. So it must have been a while between he had a partner before that, because he was so excited to show me.
I wonder if this
It's
Barry
like,
guy is going to ever come
you
out.
got some new cool stuff on Christmas, and you want to show your best friend something. Wait, come here, check this out. So I remember that excitement. That was really cool.
Yeah, he got to brief you too, which is kind of sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he was at all excited? Obviously, from like the physics side, but was he excited? Did you guys ever discuss like any of the blue document stuff together?
No,
He was. Was he briefed on that?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
It's not something that came up.
No.
Huh.
No, we had two things to do.
Yeah.
And that was it. It's the power and propulsion system, and it's, directive 1 was be able to duplicate this with existing materials, and directive 2, be able to disable this system from a distance with existing materials. No budget limits in either one. Just find a way to do it.
Think we've done either of those? Probably the second one.
I hope we did the second. I think the second one's more important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Ugh, it's a weird thought. Maybe my last question here.
Whoa.
Out of the 3 briefings that you were allowed to peruse during your document readings, you had Galileo, which was propulsion using gravity. You had Sidekick, which was the weaponization of this technology. And then you had Looking Glass, which was something to do with time dilation and peering into time somehow. Forward, backwards, what have you. To me, I've spoken to some people who have a sordid history in, let's say, some of these black programs. Time seems like the big one.
Yeah, but see, I thought about this. Which one, if you had your choice, would you really be involved with? No, I'd stick where I was, because with gravity, you get time.
Right, but that's what I mean. I feel like gravity is used in all 3 of these.
Yeah, but there's the machine that makes the gravity.
I see.
So you're part of that. And then you're nowhere unless you can power it. So if you've got the gravity propulsion and the power system,
the other 2.
You got the other 2. Those will come in time. But you can start with those 2 and you'll never get to that one. So yeah, I was where I wanted to be.
Do you think we succeeded in at least, using gravity in that way and to manipulate time or to peer into time in some way?
I don't know. I mean, you don't see it anywhere. If so, they're keeping it well covered.
I've heard some So people I know that have spoken to witnesses that are apparently in the program have talked about some weird interaction with a sphere that they called like Looking Glass, which was a sphere that they had to interact with consciously and could peer into time through consciousness-based interaction somehow.
Wow. Okay.
I was just wondering, like, for me, like that, you know, you might have seen maybe the genesis of this program, or at least like the baby steps of it, and maybe that's where we're at now. It's like,
That would be cool.
right?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be cool. I can
Well-
only hope something like that's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully that, and not so much the directed energy stuff and all that other weird, you know, weaponizing of alien technology.
That's always going to be number one.
Yeah.
But, you know, you got to let that go.
Yeah. All right. Well, Bob Lazar, thank you so much for doing this. I know you had a long day today, and I really appreciate your time, and I appreciate you candidly answering these questions. And you know, it's not always probably the most pleasant thing to go through all this, but I do appreciate you taking the time. And congratulations on, you know, getting your story out there through Project Gravator and S4, the Bob Lazar story. And I look forward to seeing how the world changes once again after the story airs.
Well, thanks for letting me come back.
Thanks, Bob.
What a short interview. Interesting.
Technical debriefing. Folks, it isn't every day that the Department of War in the United States releases files regarding UFOs. As of 8 a.m. this morning on the 8th of May 2026, there are currently 17 pages of links, documents, files, photos, and video evidence of UFO, UAP, and anomalous phenomenon. This includes technical debriefings done by Apollo astronauts and pilots. This includes cases like those of Lonnie Zamora in Socorro, New Mexico in 1964. It also includes cases like the Kenneth Arnold sightings, which were made famous because they happened actually prior to Roswell in 1947. But among all those amazing files, which I have to sift through, that were released to us from the FBI and different departments within different agencies in the United States government, the most interesting of which currently that are bouncing around the internet are the videos. We're going to be looking at every single video in this UFO release starting now. Like this video, subscribe, let's get into it. So here we are on the U.S. Department of War website, and as we scroll down, we'll find ourselves the 17 pages now. Look at all of these links. These are all FBI links. They are in ascending order, so they begin here, the earliest of which I think are around in the 1940s, and then go all the way up to 2026, and those are the videos that we'll be looking at. I don't normally do these type of videos. I don't normally chase ambulances or cover news, but this is pretty important here. These are all files. I'm just going to go through them one at a time. Now, I was looking through them this morning, and I found some really interesting things. Nothing about Roswell, nothing about the Aztec crash. And in fact, there's a lot of missing time on these files, but I do appreciate that we're getting something here. PDFs, more PDFs. These are things that we'll have to look for eventually, but here we go. We start getting into the videos as of page 9. So the first one we have here, this is the United States Central Command submitted a report of an unidentified anomalous phenomenon to the All-Domain Anomaly Research Office, AARO, consisting of 10 seconds of video footage from infrared sensor aboard U.S. military platform in 2022. Here it is. So we have what seems to be this slow-moving object moving across frame now. That's it. You know, what is that? Your guess is as good as mine. Could be a balloon. Could be anything. Obviously, I don't think that one is going to break the internet anytime soon, especially because everything is censored and it's only 10 seconds of footage. So we go to the next one. This one here, this is at the 5-second mark. The video depicts an object moving from right to left across the top right quarter of the sensor field of view. Top right corner. We're looking over here. There we go. That was it. It is very fast. And because the camera is stationary, we're not necessarily observing like some parallax effect. Now, is this a small object close to the lens appearing to move fast, or is this a large object moving fast? Your guess is as good as mine. I would probably opt for the former in this case. You know, usually the mundane explanations are the correct ones. But that was taken in Syria. So interesting. These war-torn countries specifically seem to attract some of this, activity. Here we go. This one, video description. The video depicts an area of contrast moving from the bottom left to the top right corner of the sensor field of view. At approximately 6 seconds, the area of contrast leaves the sensor field of view near the top right corner of the frame. Okay. There it is. That is an interesting one because this one does seem to move a lot faster than you would expect a balloon to move. It doesn't seem to have any sort of fluttering wings like we would see on a bird. Now, could that just be a drone? I would say my guess would be drone, if not a UAP, which they probably assumed as well, and that was in Iraq. Here we go to the United Arab Emirates. And this one here, from 0 to 17, area of contrast remains generally within the top left quarter of display, but the sensor pans from right to left, causing the area of contrast to pass through the sensor. Okay. Sensor pans from left to right. Okay, the sensor stops tracking. Let's just watch the video here. Oh, it seems like... Can we download it? Ooh, you can't download it. Okay. It seems like some of these have been pulled from the site already. Very, very interesting. Okay. So that one's a no-go. The UAE, nothing to see here. And this one as well. So 2 videos in the UAE are completely censored. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, and yet another one from Greece. And yet another one from the Gulf of Oman. Folks, stay tuned to the end of the video. These videos actually end up coming back on the site, and we look at them, and I review those, so make sure to stick around till the end. They are pretty interesting. And while I have you here and we're looking at things online, I would also encourage you to go to this website. It's probably nothing.com. This is my live show. Spent lots of time putting this tour together and live show. And the costing we have space is it's speaks up like it really, calling the babysitter company really live video. And this is from a full motion video FMV camera aboard a U.S. military platform in 2024. Described the UAP consisting of a misshapen and uneven ball of white light, and reported that the light/glare halo effect occurred at the top view of the FMV feed. Let's have a look. That's it? What is that? Did you catch that? I mean, to me, that seems like almost some type of lens flare. It's moving erratically, I will agree. Also notice the...
Interesting stuff.
Gold leaves.
A personal matter.
Best be careful. They do anything for some easy coin.
Word is they're after more than gold these days. Such as the boulders from the sky.
Hey, you'll gain nothing by spreading such rumors.
Right you are, best to be minding my own business.
Who knows what they might do?
They've got a branch set up in front of town. Who find them there?
Okay. Let's speak with the despairing man.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You can slide cancel with the horse.
Run.
What? Fuck.
Hiya. Hiya.
Alright, let's come over here. Already fucking got off. Okay. Let's see what's right here. Wait for the right time. What can I repair?
Woolly's dead, you idiot. No, he's not. Fighting. What? He keeps saying stupid things. Leave him alone. I heard my dad say Woolly's dead. Stop it. Can't you see? William's crying. Crying won't get Woolly back. Woolly's not dead. He will come back. Don't cry.
Just get over it, stupid.
Shut up. I'm gonna get Wooly back.
I'm going home.
We'll find him.
Did something bad happen?
Yes, my Wooly's got sheep now, but I was visiting Mr. Bremer when that rock fell from the sky, and when I got home...
Did any adults see what happened?
Yeah, they said they saw some bad men take Wooly, and we can't get him back.
I'll try to find him.
Jesus.
One bloody hideous fish it was.
Those bandits across the river are to blame.
Pardon me.
Who are you?
Aren't you that fellow who defeated Matthias?
Ha,
Yeah.
that's quite the feat.
He was amazing.
Well, what brought such a fine warrior here?
Have you seen any bandits around here who might have stolen a sheep?
Don't know about stealing sheep, but there's a bandit camp just across the river.
Okay.
I don't like your voice.
All or nothing. You expecting me to kill you?
Okay. Yeah, get down here safely. All this for fucking sheep. Alright, let's come.
Woolly?
Now, is this the friend you were looking for?
Woolly? That's not Woolly! Woolly's got a fluffier tail!
Oh.
Bro.
It's alright. Mr. Greymane already offered to help get Woolly back.
A Greymane.
Flow down like the starlight, traverse the path in a single breath.
For once, they played in my favor. Bremer! Hey, Bremer! You really get all your cows stolen? What'd you do to bring Solomon's scorn down upon
He's
you?
just lost his cattle and his home. We should be comforting the man.
Bollocks! He promised me his fattest heifer. That's gone.
I'll get back my cows, everyone. Just need some faith. Solomon is sure to bring 'em back. You'll see.
You think them rotten bandits just gonna bring 'em all back? Huh? A bloody fool's what you are, Bremer.
He's got a point, you know. Your cows are as good as dead, I reckon.
Yeah, she's right.
I've asked for aid all over town. I've even put up notices.
Did you ask the town guard? You're not the only one being terrorized, you know. Aye, it's worth a try.
Sure. They've got their hands full dealing with those bleed bandits.
Bastards always have an excuse.
They ain't nothing but noblemen's lapdogs.
It's been 3 days. I'm sure they'll come out.
Well, You can wait all you want, Bremer.
They will. That's enough. Let's just go. No matter how much we fuss the cows out.
What is the welcome?
Are you in need of help?
Yes, please, I've lost everything. I need all the help in the world. My home has been blasted to splinters, bits here and there. And then bandits took every last one of my cows. Solomon has put trial after trial before me.
Is that your house?
It was, before it became kindling. Blasted boulder fell from the sky. And bandits plucked up whatever rock didn't lay flat. They even took my precious cows, every one of them.
Brigands plundering a home in ruin. Any idea why?
Not even the slightest. Told them to just take the damn cows, but they took their fists to my face, demanding more and more. Just look what they did to my face.
Hey.
I'm not asking for much. I'm just trying to get by. Please, help me get my cows back. Please.
I can try.
Thank you so much.
Let's speak with the witnesses.
The fuck are you doing? There's nothing but bandits that way. But what about the cows?
All right. Better he lost his cows than his life. Those cows are his own life. Show some sympathy. I'm just being honest. Cows ain't worth getting killed over. Yes. What I'm trying to say is...
Pardon me. You know where the stolen cows are?
Why would you ask us about that? Are you reek of cow shit? Fresh off the farm, are you? What? Well, yeah. He was asking me! I saw them. Follow me. I'll lead you to them.
What are you doing? The world sure has been cruel to Bremer.
How so?
Well, his cows were stolen.
Go!
And a stone from the sky crushed his own to splinters. Poor sod's story has become the talk of the town. If that Willian boy didn't find Bremer among the rubble, that poor coward would be on Solomon's steps right now. Ask him why that rock was sent his way. He's quite the devout man, despite his hardships. Who could have imagined suffering damage from a boulder falling out of the sky? Well, I suppose he should be grateful just to have survived. Still, I know how wretched this has been for Bremer. Those dead cows on the left are his, I reckon. The work of those damned bandits. The bandits' hideout is just a little further. I saw them take all of Bremer's cattle with my own eyes. There's a strange smell getting stronger the closer we get.
Alright, let's speed this up, bro. I don't got time for this shit.
There. Just up ahead. This is as far as your coin gets you. Good luck.
Read the memory on the cow's whereabouts.
I'll hit you so hard, your ancestors will cry.
went completely mad and then died?
There's
How
another
could
one
he just
over there.
die? Wait.
What? No. Hey, hands off.
No. Is this... You
bloody hell.
idiots! I
Enough.
told you to
Let's
use it
just get out of
sparingly.
here.
Why even take that damn
Forget it. We need to move.
What? Okay. Everyone fuck off.
Yeah.
I regret it had to go like this.
I found your cattle.
Did you really? Well, where are they?
Dead. All of them. I'm sorry.
Curse those scoundrels!
You'll be all right.
It's Solomon's will. Please take this. Everyone pitched in,
Thank you for your kindness.
and we'd like to
Say no more.
Are you saying that you'll...
Aye. I'll hunt down the ones responsible.
Thank you. You truly are a good person. I don't know what to say. I'm eternally grateful.
These bandits aren't the sort you can go easy on.
I truly hope you catch them, so no one else will have to suffer.
Gosh. Alright.
Excuse me, if you got a moment.
Could I help you?
The fuck is that? Lost letter. Keen sense of sharpen your reflexes, split-second decision making in combat, higher enhancement levels. Is that what this is? Health. I think that'll help. Stamina. Yeah. Ooh. Focus.
Blimey, what's happened to your goats?
Their horns have all been locked off.
Did you cut them off, Ibano?
Why would someone... Were you that desperate for money?
Oh,
Why
man.
the hell would I do that? Calm down. Just what?
Okay.
That sound like the Urbano you know? Huh? Oh. Well, does it? Does it?
All right.
Oh, they were to be...
We took them all.
Who the hell would buy them now? Fuck!
Well, at least you didn't lose anything else.
The hell I didn't. Those rotten bastards. Oh, took
Uh-oh.
bloody everything.
My battery's dying.
We see some strange folk lurking around your house, didn't we? Right?
Wait. Yeah, I saw... And you did fuck all? I drank a lot that day. Hey, why didn't you say something earlier?
You're bound to get caught sooner or later. Hey,
let's get going. Come have a drink once you calm down. Ah, arsehole!
Couldn't help overhearing. You were robbed.
The fuck are you? You trying to get me worked up again?
Calm down. I'm not here to cause trouble.
By the sun, you're strong.
Tell me, what happened?
You heard for yourself, didn't you? Some thieving scum sacked my house. They would have done me in too if I hadn't gone and run off. Oh.
And were they after something?
Some bit of...
Damn it.